Welcome to the Friday edition of the podcast, where I'm going to read out a letter that I wrote some 6 months ago. This is letter number 10, and there's a little rule that I've learned about achieving repeat success. This is letter number 10. I often speak about this little trick at the seminars that I present at. It's called the rule of 4, and I think it's definitely a powerful thought provoker. See, once you've got 2 dishwashers, once you have this little trick, you'll never go back. You'll want 2 dishwashers for the rest of your life. Now, before I walk you through what it is, I think it's best we start with some background thinking. Let's begin with education and psychology. I've never been a fan of waste your time education, like going to university just until you find something to do. It seems to benefit no one but banks lending money to would-be students and universities that have become huge businesses off the back of it. It's great for the UK economy, but not great for the individuals who get saddled with debt and waste precious years to obtain a piece of paper that they then never even use. Can you really make use of a sports science and criminology degree? Have a think about that. I recall my uncle pursued photography before transitioning to a financial advisor. Go figure. That said, if you know why you're pursuing a particular path, maybe to become a doctor or a barrister, I'm all in. We need these people. When it comes to education, I'm a big fan of self-education, the personal development stuff. I love this little phrase. An education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. If there's one skill that I believe that could assist any entrepreneur, it's accelerating the understanding of human psychology. Once you grasp this, the decisions you make become smarter and wiser. That can't hurt, can it? Furthermore, it aids you significantly in your efforts to attract customers. It's the foundation of marketing, in my opinion. Entrepreneurs are often labelled as gifted, and if successful, you might obtain godlike status. You'll be labelled a fortune teller of sorts. People might say everything he touches turns to gold. Well, God's wallop to that. People often only see the end results, never the struggles. Only you, the ones that have been on the path, you get to see the real results, the real struggles that got you there. The driven, the successful few, well, we've merely had more attempts than most. We cram more into our short period of time, and we are remarkably resilient. Therefore, we recover quickly from setbacks. The setbacks teach us how to avoid them in the future. Then we continue, armed with a wealth of knowledge. We store the setbacks in the unconscious brain we have, forgetting them in the conscious brain. And are skilled at bridging life's obstacles. We build muscle memory to avoid danger. People close to me often say, I forgive too easily. The truth is, I haven't the time to dwell more than is necessary. Once you've overcome a difficult person or a wrong business move, you recognise the traits of the dodgy and the wrong. You develop even more muscle memory. Society may label it as gut instinct, but in reality, it really is experience, disguised as a mystical power through repetition and practice. 10,000 hours of practice makes you proficient in a task. 90% of people think very similarly. It's way more than you'd imagine. Most like it's safe. Then there's us, the 10%, the disruptors who dare to venture into business. Those that may be labelled as outsiders, adventurers, innovators, risk takers, workaholics and mover shakers. When I was 15, a man named Colin, for whom I was doing some part-time work for, said to me, do you really want to work this hard at your age? You should be thinking about breasts when you're 15. But I was engaged in numerous activities. I had Saturday jobs, I was DJing, doing magic shows, I had 7 paper rounds, and I was armed with hunger and drive. He said, you're a freak, but I tell you something, you're unique. That 15-year-old me cherished this label. Because I am a freak, I am unique, and I'm bloody proud of it. The top 10% meet more people. They knock on more doors, they ask questions, they're curious and they'll take risks. This grants them more experience and sharpness in their understanding of people, giving them greater intuition power. This is how I learned about the rule of 4. I've discovered that if we repeat a task 4 times in quick succession, we're creating habits. Trying to reduce sugar in your tea or coffee, have 4 cups naked of sugar and you'll be free of this sugary treat. Nervous on day 1 of a new job, get to day 4 and it'll feel better. Do you have children? Observe how anxious they are on their first day of school, but notice the change by day 4. Being on a date? What typically happens on that fourth date? Will she say, would you like to come in for coffee? Writing your fourth book is easier than the first. I know, because I've done it 4 times. 80% of podcast makers do not reach episode 4. Most give up because they don't get them immediate results. If you're in business, you must understand this concept. How can you entice customers to return to you 4 times rapidly in quick succession? See, you want your customers to become a habit of using your business. Here are 4 quick ideas that you can implement really easily once someone has made a purchase from you. Honestly, sending thank you cards is so flipping powerful. I can't believe why more businesses don't do it. People love it. Make sure you build a database. Put your customers' data into the database and just communicate with them. Send them reminder emails. This is one of the best things you could ever do. Offer free returns to come back to your business, or a guarantee. Call your customers, heaven forbid, and get acquainted with them, asking for additional work. This is so flipping powerful and so underrated. I just cannot believe people don't do this. If you've done something for a customer, call them afterwards and say, thank you for the work. Is there anything else you'd like to do for me? That really works like gangbusters. Also, let's quickly talk about tough business models. Maybe you're running a restaurant. Well, it will require considerably more effort to bring patrons back to a restaurant 4 times in quick succession compared to, say, a day nursery or an insurance company or Netflix. See, one is a much better business model for profitability and fosters a connection between customers and the business solely based on the frequency that people use the platform. You think about a day nursery, you're going every day, using Netflix every day, and that's not the case when it's a restaurant. I now select better business models, basically because experience has started teaching me stuff, especially as I notice grey hairs lining up to greet me each day. If grey hairs are a sign of wisdom, I'll be a genius in no time. See, thanks to my experience, my businesses are becoming wiser by the year, although I do despise how it shields me against taking risks as I get older. In essence, good models are what the doctor of business success would prescribe. Just as an apple a day keeps the doctor away, in the health realm, in business, a good model will keep the bailiffs away. How can you emulate a Netflix Stranger Things business model where just one more episode before bed becomes your business model? The audience becomes so captivated they yearn for more. Come on, admit it. Each of us has watched 4 episodes in one sitting when Stranger Things or Game of Thrones dropped. That's just who we are. We want to know more, more, more. Netflix masters the rule of 4. They've captivated you. They've built a business around human psychology. Once you engage people 4 times, you become their habit. They forget about competition unless you tarnish it. See, I think you should be caring for your customers. You'll find that they start reciprocating by caring for your business. What we seek as business owners are repeat customers, those who return again and again. You can be good, but the right model helps you get to where you want to get to a lot quicker. Now, till next week, I'm signing off from the Rossi Ice Cream Parlour where I'm making this video. Many of our cherished customers are habitual, visiting us more than 4 times a week. I frequented this place with my granddad who visited with his dad, and now my children have been here too. I bought this place for its charm, brand and history, but also because it has customers that are automatic. It is a rule of 4 business. Right, time for a Knickerbocker glory, with nuts, naturally. If you're ever in Essex, come and see us for a lick of deliciousness. To your continued success, I'm James, and you are wonderful. I just want to finish off by saying, if you haven't set up a customer database and you don't communicate through it, well, I'll say you're missing out massively. You've got to do this, gang, to your continued success. Well, there you have it, gang. I'm actually not in the Rossi Ice Cream Parlour. I'm in the Blue Boar Hotel, but I bought this hotel that's 600 years old, similarly because it's a generational business. People have been here decade in, decade out. And if you can find those businesses that have establishment behind them, where people have been there more than 4 times, they've interacted with it more than 4 times, I think you'll find business is a whole heap easier. Find those businesses. There's so many great businesses for sale that have been around for a long time, and the owners have just lost effort, energy, enthusiasm for them, and find a way of buying them. I've bought so many of them now, and there's many ways to skin a cat when it comes to acquiring businesses. I've made loads of content here on the YouTube channel. I also run a buying businesses masterclass where I spend a whole day of going through the strategies and tactics on how you too can buy businesses. I'll put a link in the video description if you're interested in coming along to one of them. Hope you've enjoyed this video of the letter and this podcast of the letter. If you'd like to get the letter as it comes out, you can subscribe on my email database by going to my website, jamessinclair.net, and click the letter, fill in the little application form, and you'll get it for free every Monday morning, 7 a.m. So continued success. Bye-bye.